Hey everyone, welcome back to All Old Rare Coins, where we explore the fascinating world of coins and currency. Today, we're diving into a piece of American history, this little gem right here, the United States of America 5-cent coin from 1957, also known as the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American pocket change since its debut in 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, it features a profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. So, what makes the 1957 Jefferson nickel special? Well, while it might seem like an ordinary coin, it carries with it a piece of the post-war American story. By 1957, the U.S. economy was thriving, and this nickel was a silent witness to a booming era marked by cultural change and economic growth. In 1957, millions of these nickels were minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with no mint mark on coins from Philadelphia and a D on those from Denver. Can you guess how many were made? A staggering 38.4 million in Philadelphia and 136.8 million in Denver. Let's take a closer look at the design. On the obverse, we have Thomas Jefferson's profile, facing left. Notice the detailed engraving of his hair and the words, "In God We Trust," along the top, with Liberty and the year 1957 on the left-hand side, and on the reverse, we see Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia home. Beneath it, the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Around the edges, you'll find United States of America and the coin's value, 5 cents. Now, let's talk about value. If you have a 1957 Jefferson nickel in your collection, its worth can range from face value, thousands dollars, for coins in circulated condition, up $55,000 for those in mint state condition. Rare varieties or coins with unique errors, like double dies or off-center strikes, can fetch even higher prices among collectors. So, if you have a 1957 nickel lying around, it's worth checking its condition and mint mark. It could be a hidden treasure. Here's a fun fact: did you know the nickel isn't actually made of nickel? Well, not entirely. The 1957 nickel, like all Jefferson nickels, is made of a blend of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that signature silvery shine. That's all for today's deep dive into the 1957 United States Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, every coin tells a story, and this one is no exception. Next, we're uncovering the story behind this humble yet fascinating coin, the United States of America 5-cent coin from 1978, also known as the Jefferson nickel. Stick around as we explore its design, history, and value. The year 1978, what a time to be alive. The United States was in the middle of significant social and economic shifts. The country was recovering from the inflation and oil crises of the 1970s, while disco music dominated the airwaves and blockbuster movies like Grease lit up the big screen. This little coin, the Jefferson nickel, was right there in Americans' pockets during all of it, buying candy, paying for gas, and perhaps even filling arcade machines at the local mall. Millions of these nickels were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints in 1978. The Philadelphia mint coins have no mint mark, while the Denver ones are marked with a small D on the reverse. Together, they produced over 716 million nickels that year. Let's get into the details of this coin's design, which has remained largely consistent since its debut in 1938. On the obverse, you'll find the profile of Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Notice the inscription, "In God We Trust," along the right side, and the word Liberty followed by the year 1978 on the left. Jefferson's profile was designed by Felix Schlag, who won a national competition back in the 1930s to design this coin. Now, turning to the reverse, we see Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia home. The name Monticello is inscribed below, along with the phrases E pluribus unum and United States of America. And, of course, the coin's value, 5 cents. Here's an interesting tidbit: while nickels get their name from the metal, they're not pure nickel. The 1978 Jefferson nickel is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a composition that has remained unchanged since 1946. This mix gives the coin its durability and silvery appearance. With over 716 million nickels minted in 1978, these coins aren't exactly rare, but their history makes them intriguing nonetheless. Now, let's talk about what collectors care about: value. The 1978 Jefferson nickel is common in circulated condition and is typically worth face value, thousands of dollars. However, if you have a coin in mint condition, its value can increase. For example, an uncirculated 1978 nickel with a high grade from a professional grading service can sell for around $40,000 to $50,000, and if you're lucky enough to find one with an error, like a double die or misstrike, the value could climb even higher. So, next time you come across a 1978 nickel, take a closer look. It could be worth more than you think. Before we go, here's a fun fact: the Jefferson nickel is one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history, second only to the Lincoln cent. It's been in circulation for over 85 years, making it a true piece of American history. That's it for today's episode. Whether you're a casual collector or a coin enthusiast, the 1978 Jefferson nickel is a fun piece to have in your collection. Look for next, we're diving into a coin that many of you might still find in your pocket change: the 1987 United States Jefferson nickel. Stick around to learn about its history, design, and what it might be worth. The year was 1987, an era of big hair, booming tech, and blockbuster movies like Dirty Dancing. The United States was in the middle of a tech revolution, and personal computers were starting to change the way people worked and played. Amid all this, the 1987 Jefferson nickel was a small but steady part of daily life. This nickel was produced in massive numbers, reflecting the robust U.S. economy at the time. Both the Philadelphia and Denver mints struck the coin that year, with the Philadelphia Mint producing coins with no mint mark and the Denver Mint stamping theirs with a small D.in total. Over 840 million nickels were produced in 1987, with 655 million from Philadelphia and 185 million from Denver. That's a lot of nickels. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1987 Jefferson nickel, which hasn't changed much since it was first introduced in 1938. On the obverse, we have the classic left-facing profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Notice the sharp details in his hair and the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" on the right, and "Liberty" alongside the year 1987 on the left. Turning to the reverse, we see Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia home. Below the building, you'll find its name, and the phrases "E pluribus unum, United States of America," and the coin's value, 5 cents. Monticello's architectural details make it one of the most iconic reverse designs in U.S. coinage history. Now, here's a fact that might surprise you: the nickel isn't pure nickel. The 1987 Jefferson nickel, like all others in the series, is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This composition gives the coin its durability and shiny appearance. Thanks to its sturdy metal blend, a 1987 nickel can withstand decades of wear and still look great. So, what is a 1987 nickel worth today? For most circulated coins, their value is thousands of dollars. But if you have a coin in mint condition or an uncirculated example, its value can increase to $35,000 to $45,000, depending on its grade. If you're lucky enough to find an error coin, such as one with a double die or an off-center strike, it could be worth significantly more, sometimes upwards of $50,000 or more to the right collector. If you've got a 1987 nickel lying around, it's worth taking a closer look, especially for any unusual features or pristine condition. Here's a fun fact to wrap things up: the Jefferson nickel holds the record as the second longest running design in U.S. history, after the Lincoln cent. That's over 80 years of history in your pocket. In the last, we're diving into the 1990 United States Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a collector or just curious about coins, stay tuned as we explore its design, history, and value. Let's set the scene. It's 1990. The Cold War was coming to an end. Home Alone dominated the box office, and the World Wide Web was starting to connect people around the globe. Meanwhile, in the US, the Jefferson nickel remained a staple of everyday life. This small coin, first introduced in 1938, was still going strong in 1990. Both the Philadelphia and Denver mints produced the nickel that year, with Philadelphia coins carrying no mint mark and Denver coins marked with a small D.in total. Over 1.2 billion Jefferson nickels were minted in 1990, 662 million from Philadelphia and 567 million from Denver. With such a large production, this coin was one of the most commonly circulated denominations of its time. Now let's talk about the timeless design of the Jefferson nickel, which remained unchanged for decades. On the obverse, you'll see Thomas Jefferson's profile, facing left. The inscription, "In God We Trust," appears along the right side, while the word "Liberty," written in a script font, and the year 1990 are to the left. This design, created by Felix Schlag, has been a hallmark of American coinage since its debut in 1938. The reverse features Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. The name Monticello is inscribed beneath the building, along with the phrases "E pluribus unum, United States of America," and the coin's value, 5 cents. Take a moment to appreciate the detailed engraving of Monticello, an iconic symbol of American history. Did you know that despite its name, the Jefferson nickel isn't made of pure nickel? The 1990 nickel, like most in the series, is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This combination makes the coin durable and gives it that signature silvery finish. Thanks to its sturdy design, many nickels from 1990 are still in circulation today, often with minimal wear. Now, let's get to the big question: what is a 1990 Jefferson nickel worth? For most coins in circulated condition, the value remains face value, thousands of dollars. However, if you find a coin in uncirculated or mint state condition, it could be worth between $40,000 and $50,000 to collectors. And if you're lucky enough to come across an error coin, such as a double die, an off-center strike, or a coin missing its mint mark, the value could rise significantly, sometimes reaching $60,000 or more. So, the next time you're sorting through your change, take a closer look at any 1,990 nickels. You might just discover a hidden gem. Before we wrap up, here's a fun fact. The Jefferson nickel design is one of the longest-running designs in U.S. history, second only to the Lincoln cent. It wasn't until 2004 that the design saw any major changes, making the 1990 nickel part of a long and proud tradition. Thanks for joining me today as we explored the story of the 1990 Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a collector, a history buff, or just love learning about coins, there's always something new to discover in the world of numismatics. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all our latest videos. Let me know in the comments if you found a 1990 nickel in your collection, or suggest another coin you'd like us to feature.